Wala na. Abo na si Papa, oh. Kahit pa naman yung mga gusto kong marinig sa kanya. Kaya lang, patay na siya.
Hello, good evening, everyone. To those who are watching us on Facebook and also those who are watching us on YouTube, I would like to welcome you to our final Unlocked live sessions featuring the actors from the last three episodes of Unlocked. So first of all, we would like to thank you for your support for the entire run of Unlock because aside from the very good feedback that we got from you, the last episode which we aired last Thursday, we got news that it's the most watched episode in the entire history of Unlocked. So we'd like to thank you for that. And joining us tonight are the actors from episode 7, 8, and 9. We're just waiting for the first two actors from episode 7 because I think they have a problem with their connection. So we'll try to get them back on. But now we have from episode 8, we have Migs Quaderno. Hi, Migs. Good evening.
Hi, Direk, and everyone who's watching. Good evening.
We also have from episode 8, we have Xavier Ramos. Hi, Xavier. Good evening.
Hi, Derek, and hi, everyone, to those who's watching.
And of course, from the finale episode, We're still trying the other one to come in also because I think he has problems with the connection, but we'll try to get him in also. But now we have JC Tanbites. Hi JC, good evening.
Mhm.
I think you're on mute. Wait, let's turn your mic on. There. Hi JC, good evening.
Hi, Direk. Good evening po. Good evening din po sa mga nanonood.
And of course, we have he was part of the pilot episode, and then he ended it once again with us. So here's Marky Strom. Hi, Marky. Good
Hey
evening.
guys, thank you for watching and supporting Unlocked. It's crazy that we've become the most watched episode after just 4 days. Thank you for watching and supporting this show, and I hope that it was a nice form of entertainment and relief during this trying time. Um, Stay strong and keep supporting the content from Gaga Ulala.
Yeah, it was really a journey for all of us. Well, because when we started shooting with Marky and for the first episode, I think it was still MECQ, right? And now we're on
Yeah.
ECQ. So it was quite a ride. We've experienced the different types of quarantine while we were shooting all 9 episodes. So but of course, like in the previous sessions that we had, we discussed to you how we did while ensuring, of course, the safety of everyone. So let's start with the questions that we have from our subscribers regarding the 3 episodes. Let me first start with Migs. Migs, they're asking a lot of the feedback that we got is they were asking about how old you really were because they were saying you're too young. So they said you're like 9 or 10 years old, but Migs is already 17,
Yes,
right?
I'm already 17.
He just looks 10.
I look
but he's,
young.
yeah, he looks young, which is good for him. He can get more roles.
Yeah.
But Migs, they were asking about because you've done a lot of LGBTQ roles in the past, not only for Gaga Ulala but also for television, right? Because you did, I think you did a film. You did not play an LGBT character, but it was an LGBTQ
Yes,
story, right?
yes. I
Quick
think
Change.
it's called Quick Change po. Yes. Back in
Quick Change
2012.
2012, and for that I
Yes.
think you won Best Actor, right?
Yes
In
po.
a
Yes.
festival. Is that correct?
Yes po.
How was your
Sherry.
experience in France? That's in France, right? Was it in
Yes, but
France?
at that time when I won, I was on Poland, so I didn't really got to receive the award on stage. But my
Okay. So
producer
you were
did
in
get the
another
award.
festival. You were
Yes,
in
yes.
another festival. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So tell us about your experience because aside from Quick Change, you also did the Young Destiny Rose, which was a hit series on GMA, right?
Yes, yes po.
So tell us
Actually,
about yes, go on.
yeah, it's quite good that like I'm one of our representative as a LGBTQ actor, teen actor that they believe that I can do the roles like of gay guys, and
Mhm.
that's pretty good. It's a good feeling that people trust me with those roles, and a lot of people like it too. So I really thank them so much.
Okay. Savior, they're asking, how was because this is the first time that you acted, right?
Yes.
For
Yes, yes, yes.
and it's a LGBTQ story. They were asking what convinced you to do the project.
Actually, Derek, I realized that I want to be an actor already. That's why
Mhm.
when you told my dad that you're gonna get me, I said yes. Like
Mhm.
I didn't think twice. I really want it. I really want the project. So yeah, that's it, Derek. I really want to be an actor already. That's why, and I have big respect for gays, for LGBT community.
That's good. JC, I think this is also the first time that you did an LGBTQ character, right? So what was what made you decide to do the project? Oh, there's Miggy. Hi, Miggy. Welcome. Before we welcome Miggy, JC, I think you're on mute once again. There. Go.
Okay lang sumagot ng Tagalog.
Go. We will translate. Go.
Direct, siguro ngayong pandemic, direct,
Direct, naririnig niyo ako? Kasali na ba ako?
Yes.
ko na gusto kong lumawak yung kaalaman ko pa, experience ko. Ayun, direct. Ganun lang direct. At saka, tapos gusto ko na rin siyang i-try. Pero yun nga lang, may limitations pa. So, sorry po, direct. At sorry sa mga nabitin po.
So he was saying, let me just translate, JC. He was saying that because of the pandemic, of course, you wanted to try on different roles as well. So that's why when the offer came for Unlocked, you accepted the role because you also wanted a change and and to explore other roles as well. But taking on an LGBT character is quite a change for you because aside from that, he said he also has some limitations, and of course we will respect that. But what's important is for you to be able to embrace the character, which I think went well for the series. Now we also have Miggy. Hi Miggy, good evening.
Good evening, Direk. Magandang gabi po. Magandang gabi.
Okay. Before we go to Marky, let's ask Miggy first. Miggy, what was your reaction, of course, when you received the offer for an LGBT character?
Unang-una, syempre, natuwa ako kasi for me, yung ganong role, nagawa ko na naman noon sa isang music video sa ABS, no? And nung narinig ko yung offer na yon, napakasaya ko, tuwan-tuwa ako dahil isang karangalan dahil yun nga, first time in my life na makakatrabaho ko si Marky and si Direk and si JC Tan na magkasama kami sa ganong pelikula. And matagal ko na rin kasing wini-wish na makatrabaho ko kayo, Direk. Yun. Kaya nung narinig ko siya na in-offer sa akin, tuwan-tuwa ako. And blessed na blessed.
Okay, let me translate. It will be a long translation night. He said when we, of course, he was excited to do it. Although he did already as an LGBTQ character for a music video. So when the offer came in, he was excited because he's going to work with me and Marky, and of course and with JC. I think he said he worked with JC before for a series in ABS. So he was excited to do it. Marky, of course it's a change because when we talked about doing the finale episode, we know how people loved your character from the pilot, from the first episode.
Andrew, yeah.
Andrew's character. So I asked you to. Of course, we discussed how different it's going to be. So they were asking you like, how did you prepare for such a different character? Because of course they're coming from different ends of the spectrum.
It's quite interesting because both characters, are both in the LGBT community, but the difference is they both have different personalities, which is great because I get to explore two different personas. The very first character was more of a downtrodden, depressed, heartbroken individual who is trying to move on from his depression of a breakup, and this final character is more of a happy-go-lucky Canadian French, which is quite interesting because how it ends is how the first episode starts. Because my character just gets heartbroken at the very end of this the finale, and the first episode he's already heartbroken. So it's like an unending cycle, which showcases what the LGBT population is going through during this time of uncertainty. And I distinguished the two characters by I tried to incorporate a different accent. I tried to incorporate a different hairstyle, a different way of being, a different posture, um, and of course, well, partially a different language for the second character, because
Mm.
it was mostly mostly in English, because we see that there are a lot of, from what I saw from the first episode, there were a lot of people
Mm.
from all over the world, from South America, from Africa, from the US, from Europe,
Mm.
all messaging me, talking to me about how they could relate to what my character went through. And again, in this episode, so I guess the mode of conversation in English helped them latch on to the character much more. I mean,
Yes.
because it applies to a worldly population. So that's why I chose to use a lot of English in this particular episode.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting for us also. So let's talk about like the process later on. But for the well, for Migs and for Xavier, of course, it's a coming of age story. In the process of like we filming that episode, what do you think? What for you was the most difficult scene that you did for this?
Um,
Migs first.
Probably the one when we fought. It's
Okay.
yeah, like it's the most like hardest for me because I don't usually do that kind of stunts, even if it's like very small. Pero we
Mm.
managed to get through it easily because Kuya Savior is a trained kind of boxer, and of course Direk Adolf Alex is a very very good director. So yeah.
Yeah, it was I remember because it was a very intense scene, so we had
Yes.
to do a little choreography in the before we shot the scene. Because of course it's Xavier's first time
Yes.
to
Yeah.
do. Of course he's a boxer in real life, but of course making it in such a way that we will not harm you will not harm each other. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was more of the
Yes.
choreography. But how about you, Xavier? What was the difficult scene that you remember doing in that
Um,
episode?
Actually, direct for me, there's no difficult scene because every scene is difficult to do. It's
Mm.
so hard to act for the first time because it's my first time. So all of the scenes is different. It's hard for me. It's difficult for me because it's my first time, and
Mhm.
um I wanna do something that I can't do. You know what I mean, Derek? Like
Yes.
um, but you guys trained me. You and Migs Coderno, you guys were both so good, Derek, and I thank you for that. I learned a lot, and I know what to do to my next short film or whatever project that's gonna come. So yeah,
Mm.
every scene is difficult for me, Derek.
Uh,
That's my answer.
I know because it was your first time, but of
Yeah,
course, you studied the role, which was quite good. You came
yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
set prepared, which is I think what every actor should do. And of course, Mix was always there to also help you in between. So I think it was shown, and Marky was saying earlier because he saw the episode. He even messaged me after seeing it, and he said it was so nice. He
Yeah.
liked
Yeah.
You
he
know what? I
liked the
wouldn't have guessed
episode.
it was your first savior. I would never have guessed.
Oh, thank you,
Excellent job.
Kuya. Thank you,
Galing.
thank you. Thank you, Kuya
So
Mark.
he was
Thank you.
impressed, and I also liked how well, because I think it always boils down to chemistry. When you do a series or something like this, it's always anchored on the chemistry, and I think for the both of you, I think it was very evident in the scenes. So although Mix was a little quiet and he had to learn sign
Yeah.
language
Sign
quickly,
languages. Yes.
quickly because well, of course he had it in the morning, and we had to adjust some of the sign language in the afternoon because when the coach learned that he was still very young, they had to adjust because there were some signs, no,
Yes.
that had to be adjusted because it was fitted for children. So I think that was also quite challenging for me because it's also the first time that I did an episode where there was sign language. um, let's go to Marky. Marky, what was the well? You went through a whole lot of different scenes for episode 1, but for episode 9, what was the most difficult scene for you?
It was a list of emotions from beginning to end. What was interesting about our episode was there was no script.
Yes.
So we didn't know how it was gonna start and how it was gonna end. We just had to rely on, I guess, a lot of improv skills and a lot of so a lot of the lines were fed to us right before each scene.
And I think for the first time, because I also for the first time, one of the very few times where I asked the actors also to to do the scenes in to shoot the scenes in chronological order, so that of course we
Yeah,
in between
that was
we can
great.
we can discuss the growth of the characters in the take. So before the take. So so you were saying which one, if
Yeah,
there's one in particular?
it was interesting because it was like it was a theatrical journey because we had to start from the beginning and we knew where we were going. So there were just some choices that I wanted to give just in case it applied to
Yes.
the next scene because we don't know where it's gonna go next. So
Right,
it was fun in this particular situation because we don't really have um, the framework fully. I mean, we knew where it was gonna start and we had an idea where it was going to end. And I love how halfway through we decided to change the ending.
Yes.
So in that process, we were able to, per scene, create different options for how we would like to see the growth of each of our characters. Kunwari, I remember that fight scene with
Yes.
Miggy and JC, and we had a take where we were in tears, and then we also had a take that was like very apathetic, like we didn't care about each other. Then we had
Other, correct.
so it was all different emotions that we had to bring each time, depending on how we were gonna end this thing. So
Yes.
so that was different for me because I'm so used to having a script and analyze a script. So coming in not knowing where it was gonna start and how it was going to end, that was one of my biggest struggles. But overall, the journey was so much easier for me as a theater guy because that's how we basically learn our scripts in the theater world from beginning to end.
I remember that doing. I think it was difficult because of course we had to adjust in terms of like the emotions for the confrontations. How about you, Miggy? What was your most difficult scene?
For me, the most difficult scene is siguro like Savior also na there's no particular scene na mahirap. Kasi alam mo yun, lahat mahirap talaga siya. It's all about the whole story, lahat it's normal to do the scene na especially na paano ko ba sasabihin ng tama, for LGBT na
Yes.
na gawin yon kasi mahirap talaga siya for us na hindi naman talaga LGBT tas gagawin namin yon tapos in a right way and na kailangan believable siya, right?
Let me just translate that. He was saying it was every scene is difficult, like what Xavier said, because for him to enter into the psychology of an LGBTQ character when you're, of course, when he's not really LGBTQ, and as an actor, it's difficult because you have to put in a lot of the factor of believability in terms of the scene. So then,
Then ayun lang, and yung siguro yung kailangan ma-showcase siya na as real as possible to the audience, na hindi siya magmumukhang awkward kahit na nafi-feel mo na awkward ka, pero you need to jump and to go to the character na kailangan mo pumasok na maging ganun ka. So you need to do that in a proper way and in a most realistic way.
I think as an actor, that's quite difficult. That's quite a challenge. He was saying to make it real and authentic as possible because, of course, the scenes when you watch it, it has to look, of course, very unrehearsed. Number one and number two, so that the audience can feel
Especially
the
the kiss.
emotions.
Especially the
Oh
kiss.
yeah, of course.
You need
Of course.
to feel that kiss. Hindi lang kasi being an actor, hindi lang siya basta-basta kailangan halik eh. All right? So kailangan maramdaman mo sa partner mo 'yan eh. And yun yung pinakamahirap, maging real, ma-feel mo yung halik ng partner mo. And
So he was saying it is for it, the kiss is also quite crucial because for it has to look well and feel real. So it's an investment in terms of how you play it with your co-actor.
yeah, yun lang po.
JC,
Yo, direct.
oh, how about you? Ano naman mas mahirap? What was difficult for you? Everything is also difficult.
Oo naman, direct. Oh. Lalo yung direct, yung bed scene, tas yung yung parang magkikissing scene, ganun. Doon, nahirapan din ako. Kasi first time ko direct eh. Gaya ng sabi rin ni Miggy, ganun. Hindi naman ako part ng LGBT, pero yun nga. So, hindi naman din ako gay doon sa role. So, parang pumapatol lang ako. Nahirapan lang din ako doon. Pero ginawa ko lang yung best ko direct kung ano man.
Okay. Wait, let me translate. Mahaba. Let me translate that. He was saying, of course, it was difficult for him. Also, everything was quite difficult because, again, it was his first time to do it. So there are a lot of things going on in his head. But the character being torn between two LGBT characters was also difficult to do as an actor because, of course, it was his first time to do the kiss and some sensitive scenes. But he just did his best. Meron ka pa idadagdag? Yun na? Okay. Okay. They were asking you also, Migs and Xavier, about your episode. If you're really into online games, are you?
Yes. I
you
play
play
Mobile
Mobile
Legends. Yes.
What's your position? Is it called position? Your status in the game?
Oh, my rank po.
Yeah, sorry, your rank.
Oh,
I'm not a gamer.
I'm Grandmaster currently.
Currently, you're Grandmaster.
Yes.
How about you, Xavier? What's your current rank? I
Xavier.
Yeah, I think you're on mute. Wait, are you?
There you go. Yeah, there.
Okay.
I stopped playing direct last week because I
so-
always work out, and I was at the province, but I played last week. My rank was, I think, master only. Yeah, master or legend, something.
So in real life, Migs is a better player.
Yeah.
I guess. But in the story, it's the other way around. You are the ones who was doing quite good. So both of them are gamers, and then they were asking you also, Migs, of how difficult was it not to speak, because as an actor, I think it's also difficult for you to not use words for the emotion.
Yeah,
so how was that
very difficult to not express to express the words yung what's on Neo's mind, like through sign languages or through writing or just through his eyes when he's angry, when he's sad. So it's very difficult to not speak because my role is mute. So yeah, but yeah, we managed to do it because Direct Adolf is a very very good director, and Chris Xavier is also there to support me too. So yeah.
Xavier, the question for you here is also: did you ask for some suggestions about acting from your dad?
No.
Given that your dad is also an actor.
I didn't ask direct. Honestly,
Okay.
I isolated myself direct.
Okay.
I was at my room for like 6 hours, 8 hours. I studied
Okay.
the script, yeah, and I practiced every scene.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't ask my dad because I wanna explore, I wanna learn like in my own way. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask him. I want to, but I think I should study. Like, I have to like learn for myself. That's why I watched a
Okay.
lot of movies. Like I watched Denzel Washington, like
Mm-hmm.
that actors. So yeah, I didn't ask Papa.
Okay. So you wanted to do it your way first.
Yeah, I want to do it my way,
Eh,
Derek. Maybe someday,
okay.
Derek. Someday, I'll ask him.
Okay. 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 Marky, they were saying, what was your? They were saying, did you ever had to audition for a job? If you remember, because they were quite curious. Because remember, there was a scene in episode 9 where you were auditioning
Yes,
for a
yes.
part. Do
For
you have any? They were saying, in your career, have you ever tried doing auditions, and how was that experience for you?
Oh, well, I've been in the industry now for around 10 years and I've auditioned for so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I have lost out on a lot. I have also gotten a lot of my auditions. It's like the thing is, we shouldn't get discouraged if we do not get something that we audition for, because right, we put so much blood, sweat, and tears. To all the actors here, also put so much blood, sweat, and tears into the audition process, where we study the script, we get invested into the character, and then we maybe do the lines and send it to the producer. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're not, even if you have an amazing audition, you are not what they're looking for. Your character maybe doesn't fit with the chemistry of everyone else. Your character
Mm-hmm.
isn't maybe the right age or the right look. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't only have to do with your abilities as an actor. So you should never be discouraged. And that's what I learned through the years of auditioning. I remember one in particular. I auditioned for a theater show. It was
Mm-hmm.
abroad, and I thought I was at the very end. I was one of the last performers. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get into the West End. Here we go." They found someone over there, cheaper,
Okay. Okay.
and it had nothing to do with the fact that I didn't do well in the audition, because I know I did. It was
Mm-hmm.
more of the fact that because it was in the UK, there was someone that they could find over there that they could pay for less. So in the end of the day, for all of you people who want to audition or want to get into showbiz, just never give up. Keep trying. Believe in your talents, because you've been rehearsing, you've been practicing. You are talented.
Yeah. Of course, it's always a chance doing auditions, but I think it's also a matter of luck. Because if you're at the right place, also at the right time,
Exactly.
if
Right
it's for
place, right
you,
time. If it's for you, it's for
if
you.
it's for you, it's for you.
That's how it is.
Uh, yeah. Migs, they were asking like at such a young age, you did a lot of roles already, and some of them are quite challenging. So, what types of roles are you looking forward to more in the future if you have a dream
Hmm.
role?
Yeah, actually, I've been wanting to do a role where I have a split personality, because it's
Mm,
one of the few roles that's very hard to convince people that you have a split personality, that you have a
mm,
disorder.
mm.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
so
actually action too.
okay, so you want to, yeah, that's also quite a challenge doing, more psychological characters,
Yes.
because of course it entails a lot of work from the actor, especially if you have the one that you said, like if you have split personality, it's quite a challenge, but that's quite good if you pull it off. Uh Wait. Okay, Miggy, there was a question for you and JC because you worked together before in a series. So I doing a project like this, which is quite sensitive in terms of the material. How was it how was your working relationship with him, with JC, for this episode?
Me, direct, no? Okay,
Yes,
kasi
yes.
ako muna. For me, it's fun. Kasi we know each other. Tapos, we hang out together. We know yung mga secrets ng isa't isa. Tapos nung ginawa namin to, it's fun kasi bago sa amin. Alam mo yun? Parang close kasi kami. We're close and then we're doing that. Yung mga love scene, kilig scene, yung mga intense na stuff. Especially yung mga intimate scene. So it's
Mhm.
fun kasi na-challenge kami. For me, na-challenge ako kasi first time in my life na sa bilang aktor, yung kaibigan ko na lalaki yung makakatrabaho
So
ng
you were
gano'n.
saying it's the first time that you work with your friend for something that's LGBTQ material. So you were quite excited to work with him. How about you, JC?
I
Direk,
think
sinabi
JC
niya na
loves
lahat.
that. I think JC loves that.
Sinabi niya na lahat, Direk eh. Yun lang, Direk Masaya kasi tropa talaga kami, Direk. Kapatid niyo yung turingan. Tapos biglang nagkaroon kami ng role na ganun. So, nung una, tawa lang kami ng tawa hanggang sa inubos namin yung tawa namin para makapag-focus, concentrate para sa gusto mong mas maipakita pa, Direk. Ganun. Sobrang thankful din talaga kami sa'yo, Direk.
So he was saying he had quite a lot of fun because of course he was working with his friend and they were laughing in between at the beginning, but of course they had to shake that off to do the more serious stuff. Yeah, Marky, how was how was your journey? Because they were saying, of course, you opened and you closed unlocked. So doing that 180-degree difference, how was the journey for you as an actor?
Oh, it was great. I actually had to watch the whole series. So I watched every single episode so that I got an idea of where it was going and where Direct wanted to lead it. Because even if it's different
Mm.
stories, there's some sort of interwoven theme,
Mm.
and I wanted to see. This is of course after doing Angels in America with Angeli Bayani, Art Acuna, Sherry Hill. You know these people like you get minded.
Of course.
I don't want to say the word, but you do, and you start to really go into these characters and analyze where they started and where they
Mm.
ended, and how you could make it a full circle.
Mhm.
And it was just great. The small little things, like for example, I wanted to make him Canadian French to pay tribute to Ménage à Trois because it's a threesome, and I wanted to give it that a little bit of a French vibe, and to create characters that are very different from each other, very downtrodden as opposed to very upbeat. In Quinn's case, Andrew is very
Yes.
down, somber. He
Mm.
answers quietly. He's probably an introvert. Andrew is more of an extrovert. He's more of an uh, outgoing guy who tries to be friends with everyone. The other guy's full of emotions, Andrew, while Quinn is happy-go-lucky. He doesn't really care. But there are times when he does care, when it's most important, which shows the difference between the Western and Eastern worlds, because Andrew was more mas o menos raised here in the Philippines, so his sensibilities are very emotional. But also, even if they're emotional, they also do a lot of cheating
Mhm.
because takot sila sa sarili ng demonyo. Well, they're scared of their own demons. Sorry.
Correct.
And of course, the other character is Western world. They're more open. They don't care. They'll be themselves. They don't
Right.
care about the people around them in that
Right.
aspect, because they know who they are and they're living their truth. So, two different characters, quite a journey. I love how it all intertwined with each other. Again, I I really liked the previous episode. It was beautifully shot, and it gave a degree of innocence to the show that I think was needed, and we needed to end with this teleserye ending. And I'm happy for that. And thank you so much to my co-actors, Miggy and JC, for being very generous on set.
Thank
In the end of the day, whatever your actors can give, we all have to work with what the actors can give.
Yes.
There's no hard feelings, no nothing, because everyone has their own process, and it was just great understanding and learning how to weave that into the movie without making the other actors uncomfortable.
Exactly. And they were also asking how you look different from episode 1 to 9.
So episode 1, I was 87 kilos, quarantine bod, and episode 9, 1.5 months later,
Uh-huh.
I had lost 10 kilos. I am now
So-
77 kilos.
Wow.
So it's two completely different weights. Because one's a model and the other one is, a depressed fashion interior designer. So you need to give them both their own bodies and their own hair. Thank you again, Erica, for amazing hair design and makeup design. So congratulations to your entire team, Direct. Very, very good job.
Thank you. It was of course it's the effort of everyone from the writer to the of course to our staff, from Erica, Maui to RJ, and to of course to Mikoy, who did the music for all episodes.
Shoot. Wow. Mikoy, my gosh, that was fabulous. That last song was just the icing to the cake. Congratulations. That was inspired. I sent him a message.
And also the song that Alex Diaz, we borrowed the song from him for the episode of Migs and Savior. It also, that was also quite an emotional song that
Yes,
fitted
that
that
was
ending.
beautiful. Beautiful.
So of course it was also, the music also played an important element for all the episodes, I guess. So thanks, Mikoy, for that. Now let's scan some of their questions online. They were asked. Okay, here's one question. They were saying, what was realization actors doing an episode or a project during the pandemic? Let's ask Migs first. Migs.
Direk, naglalag po yung...
Okay. So the question is, as actors, tell us about your learnings or your realizations doing a project during the pandemic.
Siguro as an actor, I realized to save money for the future because we all need it, especially now because I buy a lot of stuff. So it's a very tough lesson to me to learn. And probably as an actor, things like a lot of things change, especially when it comes to tapings, because like you have to go through all these safety protocols, and you can't hug each other, you can't high five each other, you can't stand with each other at least 1 meter. So yeah, that's very hard to get used to because we all got used to each other being around like very closely. But ayun, it's one of the things that you have to learn as an actor, especially now because we can't touch each other. We have to go through the safety protocols that the government said. And yeah, mostly we do online shoots. So yeah, that's one big difference conference, you have to learn the Zoom layout on how it works. So yeah, that.
How about you, Savior? Of course,
Actually,
it's your first time, but
yeah,
what was your process? What was your learnings?
my learnings in the movie, Derek, is that from the movie, ba, Derek, from the movie po.
Yeah, yeah, from your process, doing
Um,
something during the pandemic.
Same with Migs, Derek. Like saving money, saving a lot of money, because you'll think about the future. I got
Mhm.
scared, Derek, because I'm 21 years old, and I'm still studying, but I stopped school because before GMA wants to get me, but because of the
Mhm.
pandemic, it stopped. So
Mhm.
it's hard for me, Derek. I got depressed. I got sad because I stopped
Mhm.
school for GMA, and then this pandemic came in. So yeah, I learned to isolate myself. I learned to be more mature in terms of being private when I have problems, and um being what do you call this? Being more like open to my just to myself, like knowing myself more.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just that's all, Derek. Like that's all I learned, and I hope to learn more this pandemic in terms of acting and in terms of life.
Mhm.
So yes, yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
well, of course, the pandemic brought a lot of changes, but of course, we have to, continue and do our best in order for us to survive. Because of course, there will always be a lot of obstacles along the way. But of course, since you're young and you're just starting as an actor, I think it's important for you take your time, and that's good that you want to learn the craft some more. I think if you have now you have a lot of time, so you can watch a lot of stuff, to get
Yeah.
inspired. To be able to use that later on for some of your projects. How about, let's ask JC? How about you, JC? What was your learning?
Same din direct. Natutunan ko pahalagan yung pera, trabaho. Dahil nung itong pandemic direct, ilang months na walang ginagawa, workout, and then naka-lockdown ka lang sa bahay. So parang na ano ka, parang na-depressed duman, mga ganun, stress.
Mhm.
And yun lang direct, parang mas mas pinilit kong paano ba to? Mas ah wala ako. Parang ano direct, parang mas nakakamiss magtrabaho, mag-ipon, mga ganun.
Mhm.
Direct. Wala ako. Ilan
No,
direct
so
parang
so it was JC was saying that, of course, like what Xavier went through, of course, because of the pandemic, of course, we lost a lot of opportunities, and of course, you get a little depressed about it. But the pandemic also taught him to save up, and take all the opportunities that comes in. Because of course, like what I said, it's important to for us to move on, and take each day one step at a time. Miggy, how about you?
Of course, same din to save money. Na-realize ko na you need to save more money. Kasi nung wala
Mm,
pong pandemic, bili ka ng bili ng mga gusto mo. So, nung nawala
uh,
na ng work, tapings, so doon ko na-realize na I need to save for
mhm,
the future. And na-realize ko din, this pandemic, we need to be strong. Kailangan natin mas maging matatag dahil ang kalaban natin is depression, anxiety. So we need
mhm,
to talk a lot sa sarili natin, and we need to learn how to meditate and to be calm
mhm,
uh, sa mga nangyayaring uh, sitwasyon. And of course you need to learn how to maging makontento ka. Yun, you need to be, ano ba yun? Pinipilit ko mag-English
Contented.
direct para maitawid ko sa kanila. You know?
You need to be contented.
Kailangan mong kailangan mong makontento.
I think, yeah, that's important. That's also a lesson that we all have to learn because, of course, everybody, including myself, we all have to learn how to,
Yes.
save because that's important. Because sometimes, we forget that we're not living for for the moment only, but we're also living for the future. And yes, also that's important about contentment. The small things that you have, like waking
Yes.
up in the morning. The next day, that's already a gift. So now in the pandemic, we realize the value of that. Marky. Sorry, Miggy.
Ay, Mig, di pa tapos.
Yes,
Yun
yes,
lang po,
Migs.
we don't need more. We need only less, yung sakto lang. Para nung pandemic kasi na-realize natin na, especially myself, na-realize ko na kailangan ko lang palang makontento para hindi ako ma-depress. Magkaroon ng anxiety. That's it. Yun lang po.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Kirst is here, but before we ask Kirst, he was able to join us. Hi, Kirst. But wait, Marky,
Yes.
how about you? Your learnings.
Learnings from the pandemic. It's actually been great because I cut down so much on everything. My credit card bill went down from this certain amount to this certain amount, which was maybe around 70% less than my original credit card bill, which is
That's
perfect
good.
because I found ways to cut. Like I stopped paying for my Pokemon Go account. I stopped spending on stupid things. I bought a sofa in the start of the pandemic, and this is my last big purchase. After that, I've been fortunately blessed with work because I've been on my radio show every morning, RX 931, The Morning Rush,
Mm.
and then I have a new food show that we are working on. I just shot with Auntie Julie, from TikTok, so si McCoy Dubs. So we're shooting for that, and and then I have 5 different businesses that I've gotten into, including a lot of homegrown food businesses. But I'm not doing the homegrown stuff. I'm just trying to aggregate everyone's information into one database, and that's one of the businesses I'm working on, which goes with what I studied in school in the past. So it's my learnings in the pandemic is that um, I can do showbiz, but I can also do a lot of other things
Yes.
at the same time, so that I make money. We all we all have to find a way to make money now. We need to hustle, like
I think
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
whatever we need to do
Yeah.
to make that bank so that we can survive.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's a matter, well, all of them are saying one to minimize but also to maximize. Of course, minimize your spendings but maximize your potential in the
Yes.
pandemic.
And kahit maliit lang yung or sorry, Tagalog ako. Even if the budget is not
Of course.
what your normal budget is,
Of
that's
course.
a lot of artists. They're like, I'm not gonna do this. That's too little for me. No, it's work. You do this because this will add to your 10,000 hours of perfecting your craft, whatever it is
Exactly.
you want to do. Don't
Of course.
be,
Yes.
don't be picky.
As long as it fits your perspective and as it fits your I think your enthusiasm for a project or for a material or for a character, I guess you should have to go for it because anyway, that would be like what you said. It's a good time to test and also practice your craft.
Exactly.
Let's ask Kirst. Hi, Kirst. Thank you. Now he finally got in. Kirst. Hi, Kirst. Good evening. Is he?
Hala.
Is his there? Is his mic on? Kirst, it's on mute.
Ayun, sorry direct, naka-unmute pala.
Okay. Hi, Kirst. Good evening.
Hello, good evening sa inyong lahat. Ayan, sorry late.
I think
Katapos lang namin sa ano eh.
because Kirst is actually taping now. He's doing a lock-in taping for ABS, right?
Yes po.
Kirst, before we go to the other one, let's just ask you quickly because they have questions about your transition because of course before you started acting you were a model. So how difficult was the transition from being a model to an actor?
Actually, direct, medyo nahirapan ako kasi sa modeling kasi, hindi ko naman sinasabing simple, pero ang ginagawa lang namin, post lang, runway, smile, tsaka sa commercial, wala namang mga lines. Like, nung pagpunta ko sa acting, yung transition kasi sobrang laki ng difference. Kasi kailangan pagsabihin yung emotion mo, acting ng facial reaction, yung pag-deliver mo ng lines. So, parang, ako kasi direct galing ako sa modeling, medyo tahimik talaga ako. I mean, hindi talaga ako masyadong nagsasalita. So ngayon, kailangan ko maging ganun para ma-exercise ko yung pag-deliver ng lines ng maayos, ganyan. So yun, medyo nahirapan ako. So yun, nag-workshop talaga ako.
Oh, well, what Kirst was saying was that the transition was quite difficult because, of course, models have a different kind of training. But when he started to act, that's also another animal where you have to not only, look good, but also, learn the lines, learn the emotion. So he did some workshops for that. There's a question here, Marky. Wait, before I forget.
No.
They were asking what was the craziest Pokemon merch that you bought.
Hello,
I
direct.
bought
Medyo
so much merch, man. What was the craziest? I think I bought like a big Snorlax plushie from Japan. No, because like okay, so it started as just an addiction and a gaming for all the gamers out there, huh? It started as an addiction and a lot of fun, and then eventually the Pokemon Company hired me to do the hostings for all of their launches. So then eventually they started to send me to Japan to like do the media launch for a lot of their projects, and they started to pay me. So then now it's become part of my job. So if you are a gamer and you enjoy what you're doing, stick to it as well. Because just like your acting craft, who knows, one day you could get paid doing what you love to do, and that's gaming. Including this kid here, Migs.
Mix is ready. Look at his background.
Right? I'm a serious gamer, but I only play Pokemon. It's like I dedicated my life to this game since I was 12.
Kirst, let's just catch up on some of the questions before we end shortly. Kirst, here's another question for you. What was the most difficult scene that you had to do for our episode?
direct, ano yun? Sorry, medyo mahina yung signal namin.
It's okay. What was the most difficult scene for you in the episode?
Actually, direct yung yung confrontation namin na, kumbaga, di ba tinanong mo ako kung willing na akong ng ganitong, ng mga eksena. So,
Yes,
parang
yes.
doon pa lang, pero doon pa lang direct, sabi ko, ready naman ako. So, ang medyo nahirapan ako yung crucial, yung doon sa, yung pagyakap, kumbaga, paano ba yung,
Okay.
syempre, ang inaano ko, hindi naman ako sanay sa lalaki. So, parang, paano ko may papakita yung emotion ko na hindi siya awkward, kumbaga. Kasi sa babae, okay eh. Parang, kumbaga. So, doon pa, sabi ko, sige. Kumbaga, ang sabi ko sa sarili ko, i-feel ko lang na parang hindi siya, kumbaga, awkward gawin.
So he was saying that, of course, the confrontation scenes was quite difficult, and also, of course, when you have to do physical contact like hugging, because, of course, I think this is your first time also, no, to do such a
Yes,
role
direct.
first. So
Yes,
he had
first
to
time with
adjust, and so when he was doing it, he was thinking of like how he will do it with the girl. So that's how he was able to do it. Let's check for some of the questions. For the actors who did episode 9, their question is, what is your stand on open relationships? You may or you may not want to answer, but if you want to answer,
Open relationship.
let's start with JC.
Ano, Direk? Ano yan?
Huh?
Hello? Ano,
Yes.
Direk?
What's your stand on open relationships?
Direk, patagalog naman. Nahirapan na.
Ano daw ibig sabihin ng ng anong tingin mo sa open relationship?
Ano, Direk, choppy ka. Ano, open?
Relationships.
Nako, wala akong masasagot dyan, Direk eh. Si Vicky na lang o si Marky na lang.
Okay, he says pass. Oh, Miggy.
For me, direct, masasabi ko sa open relationship. Tama ba yung pagkakaintindi ko?
Yes.
Yes. Tantuwa ako kanina kasi buti nauna si JC. Anyway, masasabi ko sa open relationship, masasabi, mahirap pala siyang i-explain, ano? Pero for me, paano ko ba sasabihin? Pwede mong, parang, masama ba pag sinabi kong pabor ako sa open relationship?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
O sa'yo, ikaw tinatanong.
It's your choice. It's your opinion.
Siguro, it depends on the situation kung paano tatakbo sa tao yung open relationship. Siguro hindi naman siya bad. Hindi rin
Wait.
siya...
They're asking me to translate it. They're quite interested with your answer. He was saying, the first sentence that he said is it okay for me to say that I agree? I said it's his choice, it's his opinion. He said it depends on the situation. And what is the situation, Miggy?
It depends on the situation. If it's good for you or good for the other person, or bad for you or bad for the other person, it's always your choice in life. You know what I mean? It always just follow your happiness, you know. But for me, open relationship is good, but it depends on how kung paano mo siya hahawakan.
It depends on how you handle it. Okay.
Yes.
Marky.
Okay. This depends on a certain level of maturity. Open relationships are only for people who are able to handle everything that comes with it. Like, okay, so you're in a relationship with your partner, right? If your partner has these rules, because there are a lot of open relationships that aren't just free for all, that you can do whatever you want to. They have rules. So either we can participate together as a group, or you can participate but you have to tell me, or you participate but you do not tell me. You can do your own thing, but always use protection. Everyone has their own different rules to open relationships. There's just like sexuality, it's not defined.
Yes.
It's not either gay or straight anymore because of these Gen Z and these millennials. It's evolved into the whole Kinsey scale. So
Correct.
It's literally whatever you feel you want to do in your life, whoever you want to experiment with, love in the end of the day is love. And if you want to express love in the form of an open relationship, as I've met multiple people who have been in open relationships. I've interviewed them prior to shooting this movie as well. I found out that there are a lot of my friends who, I won't say names, but a lot of my friends have been in threesome relationships or are in threesome relationships at the moment. This particular episode does not showcase how a normal three-way relationship works. It shows how it ended.
Yes.
It shows how it did not work. But there are times when these threesome relationships do work. And the people I did talk to were together now for, let's say, around 3, 4, 5 years. I met their third party watching one of my plays a few years ago. and they're still together now. And it's I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm, to be honest, I'm not religious at all.
Mm,
I believe in God, but in this aspect, love is love. Do not
mm.
question who you fall in love with, because we are living one life. YOLO. Just love whoever you want to love.
Yes.
I thank
There,
you.
I thank you. Yes, you forgot that. Savior, they were saying you were nodding. You have any opinion? If you want to answer.
For me, Derek, this is my opinion.
Yes, yes,
Open
yes, yes.
relationship is not good for me, but people who's in like in the situation, open relationship, I respect them. But for me, no, it's not good for me. I'm not okay with open relationships. Why? First is I'm religious, Derek. We always go
Okay.
to church, and it's in the Bible that you should only have one wife or husband. And I'm an old school type of guy, Direct. I love the love before, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. That type of love where you should, like, you should be faithful, you should be loyal. And yeah, I don't like open relationships, Direct, because based on experience, before, there's this girl, like, she asked me if I want to be in an open relationship. And I got sad, Direct. I got my
Mm.
heart broken for the very first time. So yeah, cause I don't know why do you need to be in an open relationship? Like, why do you need to be like with someone else? Can it just, like, between the two of us only?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, for me, no, I don't like it. Like, I'm not good with open relationships. I'm sorry to everyone who's not
Oh, no,
like.
no, no. Again, I understand where you're coming from.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
a
We
it's a
respect
beautiful
that.
it's a beautiful idealistic statement that I
Yes.
in when I was 21. My gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No one. If you cheat on me, it's done. We are over. This is it. And now,
Yeah,
after a few years, let's see, 12
Yeah. Well,
years
let's
later,
ask him. Let's ask him 10 years after.
10
But
years, we'll
we
ask you
respect.
10 years after. We'll have this same
Yes, yes, yes.
conversation.
It's
oh my
of course we
gosh.
respect everyone's opinion. That is what's
Yeah,
good
yeah, no, respect,
with
respect.
all of us. Respect
Kuya
is what's
Mark, we
important.
have to be intact. We have to be intact, okay? I have to contact you. I,
Oh
I
yeah,
have to
send me a
learn. I
message.
have I have to learn. Yeah, yeah.
Send me a message. I'll give you stock knowledge.
All right, all right.
Let's ask Migs to cover his ears.
The 10-year-old.
The
The baby
10-year-old, but is
boy.
actually 17. But of course, given all the situations, we would like to thank all of you who supported Unlocked for its entire run because we're very happy. Of course, Marky knew that and when we were starting that it was just a small project that we wanted to do because we wanted to share stories about the quarantine. We never knew that it was going to be this successful. We just wanted to start sharing stories. But of course, it was all possible because of your support. So for everyone who supported us, we would of course it's a big thank you for all of you and to everyone who messaged us every episode, thanking us of how they were able to relate to the situations, be it a story of a young love like what Migs and Xavier did to as complex as what we did in the last episode. Thank you because we hope, like what Marky said in his one of his posts, it was also a good time for you to spend it with us during the quarantine. Of course, it's the end for Unlocked, but we will still be able to share some more stories hopefully soon on Gaga Olala because they were asking us if we what are you working on after Unlocked? Will they still be LGBTQ oriented? Of course, we will try to get the same actors, hopefully for some of the shows that we did, because we all had a very good working relationship during while we were making Unlocked. So yes, we are doing and developing some shows for it still will be on Gaga Olala. So I hope you get, we will get you informed as soon as we start production soon, or in the coming months for it. But of course, we would like to thank Gaga Olala, because I think this is also a big gamble for them to latch on something like this. But I know that they're very happy. Jay, Jaime, and everyone at Gaga Olala are very happy for this overwhelming response. So thank you. I hope they were asking if there's a season 2. We'll see. I cannot answer for now. But let's ask the bosses for that. But it was a very good run. Thank you.
Direct, I have a question.
Yes.
If there's a
Yes.
season 2, will it start with the letter S?
Yes, let's start with the letter. No, is it with S or because
QR.
yes, S, because we ended with with
PQR.
R. Yes, we ended
Ryan.
with Ryan. So there's an S. We start with an S. Yes. Hopefully
Yeah.
we start with an S and then go back to the whole alphabet once again. We'll ask Jay. Of course, they're the best persons to answer that, because there's been lot of your comments here asking for season 2. I cannot answer that. It's them who can answer that. In case, yes, we can complete the alphabet. Because, yes, for some people who were asking us, Jerome, the writer, one of the writer, actually thought of doing the alphabet from A to. Of course, we never completed the whole 26 letters. We ended with R. So if we have a season, then probably we'll consider doing that. But for now, it's a very good end and a finale for Unlock, because again, like what we heard from Gaga Olala, the last episode is doing quite well. It is in fact the most watched episode in the entire catalog of Gaga Olala. So we thank you for your support, and also the rest of the episodes are also doing quite well, because a lot of people have been binge watching, and we ask you to continue doing that, because it's really different relationship struggles for every episode, be it of course young, you also have for the old stories, and it's also about connection sometimes, or physical love. So it's really something for you to watch. We'll just ask for a few words from the actors, maybe to thank all of you, or something they have to say about their experience about Unlock. So let's ask each of them. For Kirst, thank you for joining us tonight. What was anything you have to say to everyone about your experience?
Yun, Direk. Yun, Direk, gusto ko lang magpasalamat kasi kahit meron tayong, 'di ba, kinakarap na pandemic, ayun, meron pa ring mga blessing, kagaya nung dumating na shoot, ayan. So parang blessing talaga na magkaroon ng trabaho, tapos ang ganda pa nung shoot natin. Kumbaga, ang dami mong matututunan. So yun po, thankful ako direct kasi kinuha mo ako sa mga art, as a talent mo.
I was saying thank you because during the pandemic we were able to do something like this. Yes. So also thank you, Kirst, because it was fun doing it with you, and it was an experience also. Let's ask Migs. Few last some anything you want to say?
I just want to thank you, Derek Adolfo, for trusting me for the role. My Kuya Xavier Ramos for being there. All the writers, producers, to all that supported me, to the fans. And yun, I hope you all stay safe, and hopefully we'll get to see more Unlock soon.
Thanks, Migs. Thank you for the trust. I know how difficult it was for you in the beginning, but thank you for seeing through the story and doing it for us. Savior.
Siyempre, Direk, I just wanna thank you. And I just wanna thank your team, Direk. sobrang galing nyo, you know. And I just want to thank Migs Coderno. Thank you, brother. And I just want to thank everyone who's supporting me, my family, my friends. And, you know, I just hope that magkaroon ng season 2 direct and, you know, you get to hire me as one of your actors again and to work with everyone who's here sa Zoom natin. And yeah, I just want to say thanks to Infit Clothing for sponsoring me this shirt. And yeah, yun po. Thank you po sa inyong lahat. Thank you to everyone who's
Thanks,
watching
Xavier.
the
Thank you,
live.
Xavier. Thanks,
Thank you po.
Xavier. It was fun doing it with you and Migs. And thank you because it was your first project, so you will always remember Migs. Migs is
Yes, kayo
your
po
first
lahat.
co-actor.
Everyone who's in the movie direct. Yes po.
Thank you. Thanks, Xavier.
Everyone.
Let's ask JC.
Ayun, Direk, di ko nakakabaan. Siyempre, una-una sa inyo, Direk, maraming salamat kasi sa tagal-tagal, ayun, nakatrabaho ko na rin po kayo. At saka, thank you rin sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Gagaulala, sa mga nanood, sa mga fans, sa mga kaibigan, family, yun. Thank you so much po sa inyo. Tsaka, looking forward din po ako na sana magkaroon pa ng season 2 din, itong Unlock. Willing ulit po ako na tawagin nyo direct para sa new project. At saka thank you sa mga co-actors ko, Miggy Campbell, Mark Isto. Thank you sa team mo rin direct. Thank you po talaga. God bless po.
Thanks, JC. Miggy.
Yes, yun po. Unang-una sa lahat, gustong-gusto ko rin po magpasalamat. I would like to thank Direk Adolf, Alex, and the rest of the team, the writer, the producer, kung sino yung bumubuo ng Gagaulala, the bosses, the big bosses. Maraming salamat po. Super thank you. And gusto ko lang din pasalamatan especially si JC Tan and especially si Marky dahil yung set namin na napakabigat sobrang dapat yun talaga mabigat yung eksena eh. So kundi dahil kay Marky hindi magiging natural yun. Nawala yung awkwardness. So thank you Marky brother sa eksena. And thank you din sa mga nakasama ko sa live and hopefully sana magkasama-sama tayo at kung papalarin man ay makasama rin ako sa season 2. And yun. maraming salamat.
Thanks, Miggy. It was
And sa fans, thank you.
Thanks to everyone. And Marky.
Oh my gosh, I started and I ended the show.
Yes, you opened and closed it, so you end this
I
now.
opened and closed it. Yeah. It was crazy. I got a message from Direk Adolf. Was it 3 days before we shot the first episode?
Yes.
And this was right before MECQ, and I was like, oh my gosh, how does this work? How do you shoot during this pandemic? And then Direk Adolf told me it's gonna be easy. We have a crew of 3 or 4 tops, and then we have just you and your partner, si Mike Liwag. Thank you again, Mike Liwag, for joining me in the start of this journey. And so I said, okay, so we're gonna shoot it with an iPhone? Okay. We're not gonna have lapels? All right. But let's see. I mean, it's raw. It's something new. It's something different. Let's see how we can do this, because we have to, show our creativity now, especially during the pandemic. So I said, all right, whatever. Let's do this. Let's try it out. And oh my gosh, the first episode boomed. Like there were so many subscribers. It became most viewed. It went viral on all sorts of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. People were talking about this as one of the first, quote unquote, let's not call it BL, but one of the first LGBT series during quarantine. And there were even articles saying that we were like the first to create
Mhm.
something quarantine related for the LGBT community. And that's when I found out that we had something special. We had something new, and we had something that could help a community out that was going through a lot of different heartbreak, depression, suicidal thoughts. There were so many people who messaged me about after watching this, recovering from their depression and feeling like there is a better day tomorrow. And that's what all of us as actors and our director here are in charge of, to be able to tell a story that could change someone's life or that could push someone to do something, to do harm to themselves. And that's what I took from this show. And I just want to thank Direct Adolf, and of course also my co-stars in the finale, JC and Miggy, for being such amazing co-actors. We had limitations, but we also were able to get past those, and that's why it became such a beautiful piece, because we respected each other. There was a respect, and look at it now. We are the top most viewed episode in that entire catalog. Can you believe it? In 4 days. Congratulations, boys. We did it.
That's you.
So thank you, Gaga Ulala and Jalen and everyone involved. Mikoy, Alex, to Erica, to everyone. RJ, every single person involved. Thank you so much for being there and for supporting Unlocked. And I hope to work with all of you guys soon. You guys, Xavier and Migs, you guys are amazing. Hope to work with you one of these days. Kahit daddy role.
Yes. So on behalf of Gaga Ulala, I would like to thank everyone. Again, would like to thank all of the people who made it possible. To Jerome, our writer, to our production crew, Erica, RJ, Maui, Ate Cora, and then people in the post-production, Janelle, Mikoy, and Alex who helped us with some of the songs. Thank you very much. And also to the entire Gaga Ulala team, Jaime, Rob, and everyone else. And of course to Jaylin, who made all of this possible for us. Thank you, and we hope this is just the beginning of more collaborations with Gaga Ulala, and to everyone who supported us. So thank you, and I hope everyone stays safe. And just continue to watch everything. I know you have a subscription with Gaga Ulala, so try to binge watch episode 1 to 9 of Unlocked. And also, there's a lot of interesting content there. So I hope you take your time to enjoy the entire catalog. So again, thank you, guys, for joining us tonight, and also to all the actors who are with me. Kirst, thank you for joining us. JC, Migs, Xavier, Miggy, and Marky.
Thank you, Direk.
Thank you.
very
Direk.
much. And
Thank you po, Direk.
good night, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you,
very
Direk.
much.
Night,
Good night. Thank you,
Direk.
Direk.
Thank you, LGBT